Final ranking and review video. NFC West, let's get right into it. Roster gradings are coming up next. Be the way, like, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy. Cardinals are the second hardest schedule in the NFL, with their opponents having a .543 winning percentage against them. Okay, for the Cardinals, like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But we'll get the news first. Do Debo and Jimmy have a future with the 49ers? Absolutely. Crunch time for Mekhi Becton. Yeah, Denzel Mims is done. Mekhi Becton needs to prove himself. He had a promising first year. Second year, he just got hurt. He needs to prove that he's the guy, even though he hasn't really done anything to prove he isn't. Mac Jones' leadership is not another level. Yeah, he is he's a pretty good leader. But we look at their preseason schedule. Friday at Cincinnati, 7:30. Week 2 of the preseason Saturday at versus Baltimore on Fox at 8 o'clock. Okay. I didn't put that game down, but whatever. They're playing them at Fox on a Saturday. That's actually kind of cool. Week 3 of the preseason, they're at Tennessee, 7 o'clock on 7 o'clock. So, when you look at their actual schedule, though, it's brutal. Week 1, NFL on CBS doubleheader game 2 versus Kansas City, 4:25 on CBS. It's going to be a tough game. If they win it, they'll prove something. If they lose, well, they lose. Week 2, I don't know if they're going to drop this one at Vegas, 4:25 on CBS. That should be a good game. Game they could definitely drop. Game they could definitely win, too. Week 3, they're at home against versus the Rams, 4:25 on Fox. None of these next 2 games are not America's Game of the Week or NFL on CBS doubleheader game 2 games. But still, they got the Rams week 3. Not a good start to the season. They could definitely start out 0-3. Will they? No, they're going to win at least one of them. At Carolina, though, break week 4, 4-5 on Fox. Game they should win. Week 5, another game they should win versus Philadelphia, 4:25 on Fox. Here's why. I don't think they're better than Philadelphia. I just think the Eagles are basically their rosters are very similar in terms of how good they are. The Cardinals, though, have a better quarterback. That's why they'll win it. Week 6 at the Seahawks, 4:05 on Fox. That'll be a good game. I still think they should win it. So through 6 weeks, best case scenario, they're 4-2, 5-1. Best case, they're 5-1. They won't start out 6-0. That's best case. Most likely, they're 3-3 or 4-2 though. Week 7, Thursday Night Football versus New Orleans on Prime Video. That should be a good game. Toss up, another toss up at Minnesota for 1 o'clock on Fox for Week 8. Is that an NFL Fox doubleheader game or something like that? It is not, but they're playing in Minnesota on Fox on 1 o'clock. Then Week 9, they're at home versus Seattle, 4-5 on Fox. They should sweep Seattle this year. Seattle's bad. Week 10 at the Rams, 4:25 on Fox. That'll be a tough game. They can definitely they could win that game though. I think they will either split the Rams or get destroyed by them. Depends. And if you want to know, they have 4 primetime games. Week 11 versus the Niners. That just glitched. But yeah, they play the Niners in Mexico in Week 11. Monday Night Football Mexico game. Yeah, this Wi-Fi is bad. I'll be back to you in a second. But back on the Cardinals. Yeah, they're at home versus San Francisco. Monday Night Football in Mexico City, Week 11. That should be a good game. So, like I said, 4-2. Through 6 weeks, 4-2s are 4-2, 3-3. Let's say they're 3-3. Through these 4 weeks, next 4 weeks, they're probably gonna go 2-2 or 1-3. Let's say they go 2-2, they'll be 5-5. If they start out 4-2, which is likely, they'll be 6-4. Say they have a good stretch, they'll be 7-3, which is a possibility. Will it happen? Probably not. I'd say they're 6-4 through 10 weeks, realistically. And then we look at them, Week 11 and 12, 4:05 on CBS versus the Chargers. That should be a good game, but these next 2 games, they're going to win one of them. I don't think they're going to win both, though. So, going into their bye after 12 weeks, 7-5, 8-4 is their best case scenario, most likely. In 6-6, 7, I'd say 6-6 or 7. 7-5, honestly, is the higher realistic, and then realistic 6-6. Week 14, Monday Night Football versus the Patriots, 8:15 on ESPN. That's a game they probably will win, but they could still lose it. Week 15 at Denver, 4-5 on Fox. That's rough. That's a game they definitely could drop. So you look at it. These two games are not easy. They could go 0-2 there. Sunday Night Football on Christmas night versus the Christmas night Sunday Night Football versus Bucks 8:20 on NBC. That game will be good. So if they're 6-6, they could drop all these games and they just not make the playoffs. But honestly, I think they're coming up clutch. They're gonna win 2 of these games because they're just gonna. I have a feeling. Or worst case, they collapse. But they're gonna beat they're gonna win the win on Fox, and I honestly still think they're gonna win San Fran. So even if they lose these three games, if they're 7-5, they'll be 7-8. They'll still win out because that's just how it is. Like I don't think they're gonna lose to these two teams. Not only that though, but I think they match up well against Denver. I don't think they match up well against Tampa and New England though. So yeah, those are your Cardinals schedule. It's pretty brutal. It's not very nice at all, and because it really limits them because their schedule is so hard. 49ers are the 5th hardest schedule with their opponents having a combined .533 win percentage. Look at the 49ers. Their schedule Friday, versus Green Bay at 8:30. Week 2 of the preseason at Minnesota at 7 o'clock. Then week 3 of the preseason Thursday at Houston at 8 o'clock. That's the NFL preseason Thursday Night Football. But we look at their actual season. They actually have a really nice start to the season. Like, really nice. They have 5 primetime games, I'm sure, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. But the first one, they're in Chicago, 1 o'clock on Fox, week 1. That could be the NFL on Fox Doubleheader game 1. I don't know if it will be, though. It should be a decent game. I still think they're going to win it. Week 2, versus Seattle, 4 or 5 on Fox. I'd be shocked if they lost that. Maybe they lose it, but honestly, they're probably going to lose 1 to Seattle. So it's either going to be this one, which probably won't be. You know what? It's going to be this one. On week 15, Thursday Night Football, they're going to lose to them. So we already know that. So they're going to have a nice, easy start to the season. Then, like last year, they had to play Sunday Night Football week 3 at 2-0. Against Denver, that'll be a tough game. I still think they're going to beat the Rams on Monday Night Football. That'll be a bounce-back win. So basically, through the 4 weeks, they're looking at 3-1, most likely. Best case, they're 4-0. Worst case, they're like 2-2. And at Carolina, at 4 or 5 on CBS, and then they're at Atlanta, 1 o'clock on Fox. Both give me games. They could lose one of those, honestly. Those are games they could definitely drop, but I would be surprised if they did. Then Week 7, America's Game of the Week versus the Chiefs, 4:25 on Fox. Then another America's Game of the Week, Week 8 at Rams, NFC Championship game rematch. So back-to-back America game of the week. They're going to want to win both of those, I'll be honest with you on those. Versus Kansas City and versus at Los Angeles. They're both 2 tough games. So, like I said, there's definitely a chance to start out 5-1. 5-1, even 6-0. But I don't think they're winning these 2 games. I'm saying they're winning one of these. Probably beat the Rams. So through 8 weeks, they really are looking at like a 6-2 realistic record. 6-2, 5-3, even 7-1. They're looking really good through 8 weeks. Week 9 is their bye, so they have a really nice bye week. Week 10, though, it gets a little tougher. Versus the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, that'll be a tough game. Still, they can win it. Week 11, Monday Night Football, I don't think they're going to win this one, though. So, realistic off the bye, a little sluggish start. 1-1. So, let's say they're 6-2. They'll be 6-3, or they're going to be 7-3 after 11 weeks. Pretty good. Now, these next 2 games, 4:25 on Fox, Week 12, and then Week 13 versus Dolphins, 4:05 on Fox. 2 tough games, realistically, but they're both home, so they're going to win one of them. So they're 8-4. I think they're going to beat Tampa Bay, though, on America's Game of the Week in Week 14. I really do think they will. So 9-4, 9-5, so they're going to drop that. 4:05 on TBS, they're going to beat Washington. 10-5, and then at Raiders, 4:05 on Fox. Let's say they drop that, they're 10-6. I think they will beat Arizona at least once. So they're 11-6. Realistically, which is really good for them. I honestly think so. Like, you look at their schedule, they could drop another game in here, like against Tampa Bay. So, realistically, if 11-6, 10-7, I don't think they'll do much better than that, though. Their ceiling's 12-5, in my opinion. They could win one of these games. And they honestly have a pretty nice schedule. Yeah, they're playing some hard teams, but they're not playing them on the road. They're hard games versus at Las Vegas. I don't think they're going to win that. But look at it. At the Rams, they're going to win those. They get 2 cupcake games on the road here. Other than at Denver week 3 and at Las Vegas week 17, their road games are pretty easy. Really, really, they are. Yeah, and the best part is that they get to play Arizona twice. And it was on neutral ground, too, so it doesn't matter. That's probably the game they're going to lose, though. So you look at their schedule. It's really not that bad. Yeah, they have the 5th hardest schedule in terms of opponent winning percentage, but it's one of those misdeceptions. They have a nice schedule for them. I do really think they walked out with this, considering some of the other schedules they could have had. My Rams mathematically have the hardest schedule in the NFL by a good margin. Let's say 24 thousandths of a percent harder. So, first hardest schedule, 567 win percentage. The Rams, their schedule's pretty brutal. Look at their preseason though. At the Chargers, 10 o'clock versus the at the Chargers at 10 o'clock, and then week 2 of the preseason, Friday versus Houston at 10 o'clock, and then they're at Cincinnati at 6 o'clock on the Saturday of week 3 of the preseason. They have 5 primetime games, a lot of national TV games. Opening night kickoff versus Buffalo, 8:20 on NBC. I honestly think they're going to win this game. I really do think they're going to win this. It's going to be a really good game. $166? Holy crap. I think they're going to win this game, honestly. Like that, they're going to win that. Versus Atlanta, they're going to win that 4-5 on Fox. I think they will beat Arizona, so they're going to start off 3 and go, again, like last year. They could lose this, but I still think they're going to win it. 4-25 on Fox. 3-0, and they're not going to beat San Francisco on Monday Night Football. They're not going to win that. I think they will beat Dallas and Carolina, though, for America's Game of the Week, and then 4-5 on Fox. Both games are on Fox, if you didn't know. So, 5-1, realistically. Best case, they're 6-0. They won't be 6-0. Worst case, they're like 3 or 4-2. Week 8 versus San Francisco, they're going to drop this America's Game of the Week. So, I'm going 5-2. 5-2, 5-2, or yeah, the San Francisco's going to sweep them though. So they're going to be 5-2 or 4-3, most likely through 9 weeks. Worst case, they're 3-4 somehow. Best case, they're like 6-1. Week 9 at the Bucks. NFL on CBS, no other game. 4:25 on CBS. They're going to win that. Just for the fact they haven't really played bad against them. So 6-2 in my books. Week 10 versus Cardinals. 4:25 on Fox. I think they're going to win that. So right at this moment, through 10 weeks, they are 7-2. I think they're going to drop a bomb on the Saints, though, on NFL on Fox. They're going to lose that. Go to 8-2. 7-3. I think they're going to beat the Chiefs, though, in Kansas City on America's Game of the Week, 4:25 on Fox. So at that moment, they are 7-4. 7-4 through 12 weeks. I think they will beat Seattle. That'll be a cupcake game, 4-5 on Fox. Then I think they will beat the Raiders again on Prime Video. So they are 9-4. I think they're going to lose to the what did I say? So, yeah, 7-4, 8-4, 9-4. I think they're going to lose to the Bucks, 9-5. They will beat Denver on Christmas, though. NFL on CBS. Yeah, they'll beat Packers here. I think they will beat the Broncos to go to 10-5, 4:30 on CBS, and NFL on CBS Christmas Day special. Then they're at the Chargers and at Seattle. Then the season 8:20 on NBC. So I'll be honest with you, I think they will wrap up the division here, or if they don't, they'll. So basically, they're gonna finish 11-6 or 12-5. I think they will beat the Chargers, and I will think they will beat the Broncos. They never win in Green Bay. New Orleans is a tough matchup. They never really have played well in New Orleans, it seems. And they never play well against San Francisco in the regular season. So, my ceiling for them is 13-4. Maybe they beat San Francisco once. Maybe they don't lose in Green Bay. But I do think they're going to lose. There's definitely a lot of games they're going to lose here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're going to lose another game in there. I didn't really know which one to pick. Let's say, yeah, you know what? They can lose to Denver. They can lose back-to-back games here. You know what? Not Denver. Vegas or Kansas City. Or you know what? They're gonna lose to Arizona once. So they're gonna lose. They're gonna go on a losing streak right here. These 2 games. So my books, they're ceiling 13-4. Worst case, they're like 11-6 or 10-7. But yeah, that's the Rams schedule review. Toughest schedule in the NFL. You can't really rank the schedule to number 1 in the division. I'll spoil it right there. They don't have the worst schedule, but they're playing the best teams. That's just the truth. Like, they have some rough road games too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hard road games. That's not fun. Seahawks have the 11th hardest schedule in the NFL, with their opponents having a 517 combined winning percentage. Seattle has 2 primetime games and 1 NFL Network game. But we look at it at Pittsburgh, week 1 of the preseason is Saturday, 4 o'clock. Then week 2 of the preseason Thursday, what do I call that? Thursday night special, NFL preseason Thursday night special, Bears at Seahawks, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Then week 3 of the preseason Friday at Dallas, 8 o'clock on ESPN. So, 8 o'clock. So, basically, this is a difficult schedule. Week 1 of the preseason Monday Night Football, they're not winning at home versus Denver on Monday Night Football. They're not going to win that. At San Francisco, week 2, they're going to probably drop that. So, they're just 4 or 5 on Fox. So, honestly, I said they're going to beat San Francisco once, so they could be 1-1. Maybe, if they're lucky, 2-0 through 2 weeks. I don't think they're going to win at home versus Atlanta 4:25 on Fox. They definitely could. I don't think they will. Week 4 at Detroit, I think they will win that. They do match up well against Detroit, really, 1 o'clock on Fox. So their start to the season really isn't that brutal if you're a Seahawks fan. It's really not that brutal. Is it nice? Nah, it's okay. They're going to win. They're not going to start 0-1. That's the good news. At New Orleans, though, 1 o'clock on Fox, not going to happen. Versus Arizona, 4 or 5 on Fox, I mean, that could happen. So you really look at it. They can beat teams. They're not the worst team in the NFL, but they're not good. So, realistically, they're 2-4 through 6 weeks. Worst case, they're 0-6. Best case, they're 3-3. They're not going to beat the Chargers at 4:25 on Fox week 7. They're not going to beat the Giants. You know what? I don't think they're going to beat the Giants at 4:25 on Fox. They could. So, through 8 weeks, best case, they're 4-4. Worst case, they're like 0-8. Most likely, they're 2-6 or 3-5. Week 9 at Arizona, 4:05 on Fox. I don't think they're going to sweep Arizona this year, though. They're not going to sweep Arizona, so they're probably going to lose this one. 9 week, and then they're not going to beat the Bucs in minute on Monich. NFL Network Germany game special. So we look at it. Yeah, they don't have the nicest schedule. I'll put it that way through 10 weeks. So they're going to have a pretty ugly record. I think they're going to win 1 game. They're probably not going to be 0-10. 1-9 is their worst case. Best case, they're 4-6. Most likely, they're 3-7. Week 12 versus Las Vegas, 4-5 on CBS. They're not going to win that game. Honestly, they could beat the Rams here. I don't think they will. 4-5 on Fox. So coming off the bye, best case they're like 4-8. Worst case they're like 3-9. Worst case they're like 1-11. Most likely 3-9. They will beat the Chargers. They're not going to lose to the Panthers. 4-25 on Fox. I think they will beat. So worst after week 15. So here's the stretch. Best case they're 2-2 through the stretch. Worst case they're 0-4. Yeah, they can go 0-4. Most likely, though, like I said, 1-3. So, like I said, coming out the bye, best case, they're 4-6. Here, after this, it's like 6-8. Most likely, though, they're going to be like, after week 15, they're going to be like, let's see, 4-10 through 15 weeks. Then at Kansas City, 1 o'clock on Fox. It'll be a rough game. I think they're going to lose that. They're going to beat the Jets 1 o'clock on Fox week 17, though. 4-5 on Fox. They're going to lose the Rams week 18, though. So overall, after the last 3 weeks, so let's say they're 4-10. They're probably going to finish like 5-12. That's realistic. Best case, they're like 7-10. Worst case, they're like 3-14 or 2-15. They don't have a nice schedule, though. They have no shot at winning a lot of games. Is it the toughest when you actually like look at it like really in depth? Not really, but it's not a pretty schedule. Okay, look at the rankings. 49ers are the easiest schedule in this division. I think it's favorable for them. They have a really good shot at winning games. And yes, it's not an easy schedule, but it's definitely one. Like I said, they'll win games. Rams, I just don't see them. Their floor isn't that low. Their schedule does limit them a little bit for that ceiling per se because they don't have a ton of cupcake games, which kind of hurts them. But still, they have a harder schedule, which isn't always bad. You're always going to keep that in mind for playoffs and all that. The teams that usually win the Super Bowl usually have a pretty hard schedule. The Cardinals, 43 win percentage, their schedule limits them a lot. Not as much as the Seahawks, though. That's why they're there. The Seahawks are the hardest schedule in this division because they're one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they have almost a top 10 hardest schedule. That's why they're there. They are in one of the worst situations I've seen in a while. This is going to be a bad season for them. I'm sorry, I'll just be honest. Their rating rating should be fun, though. Either way, guys, like and subscribe. Those are your NFC West 2022 NFL schedule ranking review. But we got roster grades, and then we got all the other stuff after that. But hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one.
This kind of helps him reset while he's in the game.
And Sherry, thank you and condolences to the entire Moab family. Here's Derrick Henry with some nice running. Henry trying to turn it on inside the 30.